everyone, it's me, Laura, and today we are going to be talking about the Sculpey Clay Gun. Woohoo! Personally, this is my favorite clay gun. My reasons for this is cost, time, durability, and convenience. Most of the time, one of these reasons come into play and I wind up not working with another clay gun. I have seen many reviews on this extruder and many people who say they don't like this gun because it is so hard to use. Well, let me tell you, it is a fantastic tool, so long as you have the right alterations in place to make it very useful. But first, let's go into the features of this gun. There are 22 pieces, including the barrel of the gun, the plunger, and the cap to keep the disc in place, along with 19 discs to work with. There are 6 circle discs, 3 ribbon discs, 3 clover discs, 3 multi-rope discs, and then 4 specialty discs, which include a square, a half moon, a triangle, and a 4-petal clover shape. Now here you see me messing around with some other discs up here, and these are very thin. This comes from a Kemper clay gun, and I want you to see the difference between that disc and one from the Sculpey clay gun. The Sculpey clay gun disc is a lot thicker. That Kemper disc is really thin. And I've used those in the past. I enjoyed that Kemper gun for a while, but I discovered that over time and with too much pressure of the clay in the gun, it will pop and it will distort and destroy those discs. When I discovered that with my Kemper clay gun, I was so disappointed because I truly did love that clay gun, but it just couldn't handle the pressure of hard clay in the barrel and putting that force against it. So I went to my Sculpey clay gun. And the durability of this gun has proven itself to me over time. You can use your harder clays like Fimo and Kato clays in this gun, and the discs can handle the pressure of those harder clays. Okay, so let's take this gun that we have right here, because as it is, it's true. If you try to do clay in this gun, you're going to hurt your hands over time. So let's go ahead and make those alterations so you won't have that problem anymore. Here I'm showing you the alterations already made to this gun. And we're going to go ahead and take this apart step by step, and we'll put it back together so this way then you can also build this thing up as well. Alright, so I took out my plunger, I'm taking off the cap of the gun, taking off an O-ring, and then a washer, a piece of PVC pipe, and another washer. Now these washers are pretty darn durable, they're pretty big too. I'm going to take my pieces right there, just setting them so you could just see them all in concert. Now, the washer here, move that to the side. Sorry for my bumpiness. And my ruler measures this at 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeters inside that hole. And then it's 2 inches all the way around. So that's the kind of washer you're going to look for. PVC pipe, it's also 3/4 of an inch. So you need a piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe on the inside of that. Now, put the washer on there, the PVC pipe, and then the washer, and then the O-ring. Now the O-ring you don't necessarily need to do or have for this particular setup, but it's nice and convenient because it keeps it all in place. So here I have my caulking gun, and this thing will work wonders for you on squeezing out the clay from your clay gun. There are many different caulk guns out there, but you need the right one to make this work. And don't worry, I will give specifics on that later. You need to look for a caulk gun with an open back, and I prefer this gun with the 1-inch metal sides. The reason for this is when you place your altered clay gun in the barrel, the large washers will rest in it beautifully. If you have a solid bottom caulk gun, it will not work. The altered clay gun will like to buckle in the barrel, and if you get one of those caulk guns with the thin metal sides, there is no place for the washers to rest and it makes it harder to keep the altered gun in the caulk gun. There are also caulk guns with an open back that have metal or plastic bands coming around to connect to the other side. Those don't work either. They interfere with the clay gun notches. So here I'm showing you with the clay gun and I'm putting the plunger in. I don't have any clay in here on this particular one, but that's okay. I just wanted to show you how it sits and how it comes together. So as you go ahead and squeeze that trigger, eventually that caulk gun plunger will connect up with your clay gun plunger and you'll be able to squeeze out your clay pretty easily. Now here I have it where you can see there it's all metal. I've seen some people, or actually myself even, where I've put like a little felt piece of material there to kind of keep the metal from rubbing on each other, and it's just kind of a nice thing. But you don't have to have that. You can just have it just as it is right here. Here I have my original caulking gun that I bought like years ago. And this particular gun, I wanted to show this to you real quickly. And I'm putting the clay in this time, woohoo! But I wanted to show you that the barrel rotates. I don't know where this particular gun is, but if anybody ever comes across it, please leave me a comment. I would love to find out where that particular gun is at. The actual barrel on the caulking gun will rotate around. So I wanted to show that for any of you who do run across this particular version, check it out and buy it because I love it. Alright guys, so let's talk about where you can find the items necessary to create your altered clay gun. Normally I would just list the items on my description section below this video, but I wanted to make sure people got this information and you had a visual to go with it. They will be listed in the description area, so you can also check there for any additional information. First thing, the caulking gun. I went to Lowe's and they had the one I showed in this video here. You can also find it online through their site. For the washers, PVC pipe, and the O-rings, I went to Home Depot for those. I looked into Lowe's for those items, but their PVC pipe and their washers, they just were not the same size as the ones I found at Home Depot, and they did not fit as nicely as I wanted them to. Also, the PVC pipe, you will need to cut it down to fit. I measured mine at about 2 to 2¼ inches. Here's also another little tip. Take your clay gun to these stores. You can outfit those right there. So yeah, I have a little bonus information for you guys on the Sculpey Clay Gun. This right here is a thread bobbin rack that I found at my local craft store. And the nice thing about it is that the clay guns, when they are altered, fit right in between each slot. So you can have multiple clay guns and keep them nice and stored in that fashion. Now you're probably wondering, why does she need so many clay guns? Another little tidbit. I like to have a color per clay gun. So like my red, my blue, my yellow, my black, my white. And this way then you never have to clean them out. Forget that. All you have to do is put your clay in there. You never have to clean them out. You don't have to worry about that hassle ever again. And the clay is just fine in these guns, even if you leave it in there for a long time. And my reasoning for this is because, you know, I am impatient and I hate to take a ton of time just to go ahead and clean something out. This way it just saves me that element of time. So my overall suggestion for this is to get a black and a white at first for your, 2 clay guns. And if you really like this system and you really like how it works out, then go back to the store and get, one for a red, a blue, and a yellow, and you just build on it. You don't have to buy them all right away, but just build on it and see how this goes. I really think you guys are going to like this system. The other part is right here with my clay gun in the altered state hanging from my pasta machine. This works fantastic. I always found that trying to store stuff is hard to do, but in this case you can just take that hook off of that particular caulk gun and hang it right off of the hinge part on your pasta machine. It's a nice way to have both tools right there for you. I truly hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I'd really love to know what you're thinking on this one. And as always, I'm sending out my biggest hugs, and I hope you have a fantastic day.